We will need to come back and address the header, the Pelopons there, and its color, and we will do that shortly, but we want to probably bundle that with taking a good look at the mobile side anyway. So let's go ahead and finish up the buttons and the words in our navigation bar, and we can add some features to them. So let's come down here and click on this. We got it linked. We've already designed, which is our color and our font and our size. And so now let's add some animations if we determine that's good. And they've got some preset animations in here, and really what this does is control how they come into the image. So when the page loads, instead of just popping up all at once, we can make them do things, which will add a little bit of energy to the beginning of the web page. The bounce in, and whenever you click on one, it shows you what it looks like. So you can click and look at the word fountains down there, and it shows you how that bounce in looks. Glide in comes from the other side. Expand in starts small and gets large, and you can check out all of these. I think for us, we want something relatively low key because we already have a complex background. I think either a fade in, not a float in, or an expand in. We don't want too much movement, so we'll decide fade in or expand in. I think we'll go with expand in. And then we can customize this even further. We can say how long it takes for it to come in, meaning how long does the expansion part itself take. We could have it expand for 8 seconds. That would not be very good because, as soon as people load the page, they're waiting 8 seconds for the thing to fully come up. So it's at 1.2 seconds right now, and that looked pretty good on the example, so we'll probably leave it there. The second thing is, do we want to have a delay before the animation itself starts? So that means, page opens, it immediately expands out so that within 1.2 seconds all of our buttons are up there and people can see them. Or do we want to delay where the page opens and maybe it does nothing for 2 seconds and then those expand in? Let's actually put a little delay on it, maybe about 1 second. Now it asks, do we only want it to animate the first time? Meaning, if people go to other pages and then they come back to our home page, is it going to go through that process again, or is it going to go straight back? I think sometimes these can get a little bit annoying. And once people are in the site and they're looking around, they're looking at the content instead of looking at the page itself. So we're going to say yes, only animate the first time. That way they will not have to wait for it to animate. Each time they come back to the home page, it will just be there. So we'll apply this to each and every one of these buttons. I'm not going to make you actually watch me go through and do all that. But we'll come back now. Let's go ahead and close that, and we'll save it. I've got auto save on, but I still come up here and save occasionally, and I'm not going to publish it yet, just to be on the safe side. So let's come back up and talk about this color. Now, the mobile version defaults to the upper left-hand side, this area right here, a very different set of colors and values as compared to this. This is dark, this is light. This has got browns and reds, this has got kind of tans and greens. So what we really want to know is what will work on both of these. We can take this and pull it right over here and see what it would look like on the mobile site, and we can see right away, just like we saw on the mobile site, that it does not show up well. It blends into the background too much. So we're going to go through a couple of different colors here. We want a color that fits with our overall color scheme, just like we had as a consideration down here with the buttons, but that will show up on both this area and this area. So let's go in here and just see what we can do. Let's actually, we're going to leave all these things the same. We've got our heading 3, we've got our Reclame script, our font size is fine. We really only want to look at the color. And we've got our light gray here. So what if we put it in the same color that we have? This is the color that we have for the buttons down here on the navigation bar. Real color theory example here, right? This color looks very different against that background than it does against this background. It shows up, but it's a little bit, you know, the combination of this complex background plus a relatively complex kind of organic font is not fully satisfying. Let's go a little darker. That certainly looks better against that background. Still in the same color family. We still have our blue theme. Now let's see what it looks like back in its original spot. Not bad. Alright, we can click it right there and see. Let's see if there are any better choices. We've been looking at the blues, so let's go and look at a different color. Maybe one of our oranges. That shows up pretty well. Pretty intense orange there. Let's see what it looks like back over here. Yeah, okay. It blends a little bit into the background, but I can still see it. Let's try a few more combos, and then we'll decide on one of these. Definitely too dark. That absolutely blends into the background. That is a little fleshy, and it is not going to look good on the green background over here. As you can see, it falls right in. So that's a no-go right there. We haven't used many greens. Perhaps we should try a green. Now I don't think that's going to show up well. Better. Possibly. Let's try that. Understated, but it does show up. Shows up okay here. I'm going to try one more dark green. I'm thinking this still doesn't work quite as well as the blue. Well, that could work. That's a nice, very dark green. It's not quite black, so it still, you know, has some color energy to it. That would work. I have to say though, I'm still kind of feeling the blue. So let's go back and do the blue. Got a pretty saturated blue there. Shows up both places. So I think we're going to go with that for now.